powered by Lavish T. Williams. It's the dopest, realest podcast in the nation. We talk about everything biker related with no filter. This show ain't for the weak, insecure suckers in their feelings. This show is for the real ones. Thank you and everyone for tuning in, and make sure to add, like, follow, and subscribe at Lavish T. Williams on all social and streaming platforms. And now, let's get into the Lavish Biker Podcast with your hosts, Lavish T. Williams and Pedro.
What's up? What's going on, everybody? Listen, I want to thank y'all for, tuning in, checking out the Lavish Biker Podcast. Today we got an interesting show, an informative show. We're going to share some information and some thoughts that some might have, different opinions, different views. I guess there's no right and wrong. And who else to have on the show besides our guest that we have today, which is the Black Sabbath guy himself, Black Dragon from the Black Sabbath, John Bunch II. We got him on here on the show.
That's right.
Yeah, so let's bring him on.
Give a hand up on that. Yes, sir.
Oh, man, yeah. It's you.
It's all you, dog.
Thank you for having me. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Happening, man.
Whole government name? No,
Hey,
really?
Hey, man, they gave you a standing ovation.
Standing ovation, man. We got Black Dragon. We got Black Dragon on the Lavish Biker Podcast today, man. And I want to get right into the topic. But before we get right into the topic, man, I want to speak on the individual that we got on the show today. I'm sure that you may have seen him all over social media. He's an author, motorcycle author. He speaks a lot about things that go on within the biker community. He shares a lot of information, very knowledgeable to what's going on in the bike world. Name some of the books that you wrote, because you got a few of them out there. Just give them a quick background of who you are for the individuals that don't know who you are or may have heard of Black Dragon.
This is the first book I ever wrote, Prospects Bible. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. And, man, I appreciate you, Lavish. And I've been watching, talking to you. We've been hollering for years, back and forth at each other. So I'm proud to see your podcast and what you're doing with it, man. So best of luck to you. If you need me for anything, let me know.
Absolutely.
This is my first book I ever wrote, Prospects Bible, which is how to join a traditional motorcycle club. And this book I wrote in 2014. It has now become required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. And then I wrote, I wrote The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership, which focuses on the 14 scientific principles of leadership as taught by the United States military to officers in the U.S. Naval Service, to include the Marine Corps. So that was my latest book that I wrote last year. I wrote the Sergeant at Arms Bible, and I just hate that I don't have any of them here with me. You didn't tell me about that. But I wrote the Sergeant at Arms Bible, and the Sergeant at Arms Bible we wrote in 2016. The Soldier Sergeant of the Brotherhood. And this book is about how to be a Sergeant at Arms. It tells you about the history of Sergeant at Arms, where they come from, the 15th century Europe and all this kind of stuff, and how it's done, the parliamentary procedure and all that kind of stuff. So we have Sergeant at Arms Bible, President's Bible, Prospects Bible, Public Relations Officers Bible, and Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs. And next week, in just a few days,
what we got?
We got my newest Bible out, called the Social Clubs Bible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, there you go. There you have it.
Bible it's the first book ever written to address women on the Black Biker set, and to address the social club issues out there today. How to run social clubs, how how to get in a social club, how to prospect for a social club. It teaches you everything. It teaches a social club member everything about the biker set, what the ranks are, what the officers are, the different kinds of biker sets, motorcycle club etiquette on the biker set. So in that book, first of all, you get to learn everything about the biker set that you're going to be going on and operating on, how to act in a clubhouse, what are properties, what is this, what is a regional president, what's a vice president, what's a road captain. And so it teaches you what all those things are, how the motorcycle club set operates. And then it gives you the history of social clubs, which is crazy because most people, especially a lot of these women in social clubs, don't know that women's social clubs started in the slave days, and that Black women that were prosperous and not slaves reached down to the slave quarters to help their sisters out, feed them, feed their children, teach them how to use the china cabinet so that they could get better jobs instead of being out in the field, get in the house and get better jobs, better access to food and stuff. And these women they put up anti-lynching programs, and there are women like Ida B. Wells and Sojourner Truth and women like Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was in a women's club. And these women's social clubs that did all of this stuff to uplift the African-American social construct did these just amazing things. And these women's social clubs that belong to motorcycle clubs have come along and are doing the same exact things to uplift the social construct on the African-American diaspora here in this country. And the things that they are doing mimic. They're just on the exact same path as the sisters before them. So this book illuminates the history of women's social club, the Black women's social club movement in the United States that started in the 1700s and then moved to the progressive era in the 1800s. And these women, they did everything. They had printing presses. They spoke out against lynching. They spoke out for women's suffrage. They spoke out against the alcohol prohibitions. They were all this stuff that they did, all the way up to your deltas and things like that. Your women's sororities and all that. All these things are covered in how they all form together, and then the whole social club construct and how it works in things like the colors that you wear and the offices that you have and your sponsor club and how to deal with all these things. So that is coming out. Actually, it goes to the publisher, the printer, I think tonight. And the Social Club's Bible, I call it the Social Club's Bible. Oh my goodness. The whole name of it is, oh my goodness. How do you not have the name of your book? Right there. You didn't tell me anything about this. Here we go. You can't not have the name of your book out.
Yeah, you gotta have the name of your book out. Come on now.
Not say the name of your book right. And I'm trying to tab over to it. I'm so angry right now. Come on, man. Where's the name of your book? Boy, you are a sucker right now. Wow. And it would be on the very last tab. Okay, here we go. Okay. The Social Club's Bible, Revival of the Women's Social Club Movement, Lifting as We Climb.
Okay, all right. That's the name of the book. It's coming out. So y'all hear it. If that's a book you want to check out, man, go ahead and check it out, grab it, and support them. Black Dragon. This is one of the things that I wanted to talk about on this show today. And I know that you will be the perfect person to share your insight and knowledge on it. I just got to make sure that I'm not the one tripping. But then again, it's perspectives. It's different perspectives how we view things and how we see things when it comes down to the motorcycle clubs, and also wearing these rags, putting these rags on our backs, representing our clubs. And one of the things that I want to ask you, I want your take and views on wearing your rags in the cage, in the car. Me, myself, I don't. Every time I get in the car,
Exactly.
I take my colors off. I don't drive with them in the car. I don't walk through the airports with my colors on. I don't get on a bus with my colors on. Any other thing as far as transportation outside of a motorcycle, I don't wear my colors. And I talked to a few different individuals because I just thought it was normal. And I found out that it's a lot of people that wear their colors while they're driving, and they don't see anything wrong with it. And I don't know if it's preference or if something really is wrong with it. So can you give me your background and knowledge on that?
Wow. I don't wear my colors when I drive. But I say that everything I'm against is probably something I've done. I don't wear my colors when I drive now because a lot of people look towards me for MC protocol, and they see me getting out of the car with my colors on. But I'm not going to say I haven't done it. I've done it many times throughout my 35 years in this lifestyle. I've worn my colors in my car many times, and I would tell you that I would not jump on somebody or even be mad at somebody for doing it, because to me, these are subtle differences that change over time. For instance, the one that I used to see on Sucker Free MC all the time was they would roast clubs for people turning their colors around backwards and putting them on for pictures and stuff. And man, they would just roast club after club after club for that. But then I went back in the 50s and 60s and saw some of the top clubs, the top 1%er clubs in the country, with pictures with members wearing their clubs the colors on backwards, so that they could take a picture. And so, at some point, somebody decided it changed, and so then you're a fool if you do it, or whatever the case may be. So these kind of rules, they change. They kind of flow with the ebb and tide. Sometimes, in some instances, you can do it, and some period of time you can't. Like maybe when COVID was around, a lot less people were riding. Maybe you saw more people do it, and then whatever the reason is. So I don't do it. I don't wear my colors when I'm driving. I kind of like to I take them off before I get in the truck. But I have done it before and didn't think anything about it. And it wasn't until I started doing MC protocol channels and stuff that I was even aware that it might be an issue. And so I've stopped doing it, and I'd say in the past like 8 or 9 years or something like that.
So, can I ask you a question?
No,
So
you
is
can't.
it? So listen. So is it MC protocol then to not wear your colors in the car?
Oh my goodness.
That's a good question.
So the correct answer, if we just want to go strictly by MC protocol, is nothing is supposed to top your cut. What does that mean?
You're not supposed to cover your cuts up. Period. Right?
So
that's your coat, your coat in a car, anything of that nature like that.
Or even a woman passenger on the back. What does she do? I've seen clubs put their colors on the woman behind them so that nothing tops their cut. I've seen that. Interesting.
That's interesting.
I've seen other clubs be like, man, you've lost your mind. You've lost your whole damn mind piece. But the purest look at nothing tops your cut, the purest look at it is not even the woman passenger on your bike should cover your cut. So if she's the last thing on your bike, shouldn't your colors be on her?
So I guess, yeah, that's
That's
subjective.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't make any friends with that one, did I?
So that's like
Well,
that's
I got
that's,
folks
that's
out there like, Negro, you done lost your whole mind piece. Get out of here. But I have seen that. I've been doing this 35 years. I've seen that. I asked that question. And the answer was nothing tops our cut, bro.
who makes up these rules, man. And I ask that because when you talk to different people, everybody got their own set of rules. I ride in the car with my colors on because I'm moving around. You got some guys, I don't ride in the car with my colors. You got some guys that say it doesn't make a difference. You got other guys that say that's not some biker stuff. So who's to say who's right and who makes the rules?
Well, rules like that are always going to be more of us are pushed around by what other people say and about what other people think. More of us are pushed around by that. I think who makes the rules for that is your club. The vote of the Full Patch Brothers in good standing. They say, are we going to wear our colors in the car? Are we going to not wear our colors in the car? They say, can I take my colors off if I'm tired and put them on the back of a chair and go to the restroom? As long as my brothers are watching my colors, what is the problem with that? They say that's a problem. That's not a problem. I think it comes down to the vote of your Full Patch Brothers in good standing, how you're going to deal with something like that. I'm all for MC protocol. What I'm not for is MC per your call. You don't get a call on my protocol inside the club. Now, the coalitions or the 1%ers or whatever the case may be, they get a call on what goes on outside the club in the motorcycle club sets, the coalitions or whomever. If you want to belong to this coalition, we're going to do it this way. But inside your club, what you do inside your club, your colors, your regulations, who's a president, whatever, that is decided by the Full Patch Brothers in full standing, in good standing, in my opinion.
Okay. How is it looked upon from other clubs?
Oh, well,
when they see that.
A long time ago, I had to stop worrying about how other clubs looked at my club.
Okay.
Especially since so many of them couldn't move like my club.
All right.
So when I can look up and see my club in 30 states across the country, and your club is in this city, and you're going to tell me about what we should be doing, I just got to smile at you and say, all right, bro. When my club is celebrating its 50-year anniversary in February, and your club is celebrating its 5th-year anniversary, I just have to be like, well, you don't like me? How are you looking upon me in a bad way?
Yeah.
I'm really hurt by that. So there's a lot of stuff that clubs will look at your club and laugh at you, and especially back in the days where they were roasting clubs on social media and everybody was laughing and look how stupid they are, and then next month your club would be on. So in the background of how other people see me, what I want them to see is, I tell you, the greatest compliment I ever got one year, my club ever got, was we had just come back from the Cold Ash Run to the Mother. So everybody knows that we ride across country in February to the Mother chapter in San Diego, and we celebrate where our roots, where we come from. And that's a ride during the coldest time of the year through the worst weather, hugging the tin as hard as you can, hoping not to get snowed out and all this kind of stuff. So we had just come back from that, and we went down to eat at this restaurant down by the airport. That serves the greatest seafood. And there was a bunch of motorcycle clubs there, and we were sitting out on the bench, me and At that time, I was still national president, and somebody out there said, "Yeah, we're gonna go to this thing in May, and you know, it would really be cool if we could see the Black Sabbath there. If they could, spend some time off their motorcycles and see something local." And this lady from a social club said, and she said, "Well, I don't think they can ride in the summer. I think they'll burn up. They only ride in the winter through all the snowstorms and stuff. I think if you saw them in the summer, they'd melt." And the acknowledgement that my bros rode hard all winter long, so hard that they thought we might melt in the summer. Man, that's what I hope motorcycle clubs think when they see me get out my car with my colors on. Damn, that motherfucker looks corny as hell, but he damn sure rides that motorcycle.
No, I mean, and I bring these up because we have conversations when people sit around, from club to club, and different people were taught by different people. They were schooled, were they really schooled, or were they taught by opinionated people that don't know the rules themselves?
Most of the time, as with most rules, like with the Bible, the greatest book never read. Like, how many times have you quoted the Bible? Me, I quote it all the time. I have to stop and ask myself, now, did you read that, or was that something grandma said? So most of us, we teach from an opinionated point of view. If it's not done my way, then it's the highway. If it's not done the way I want it to be done or the way I think it should be done, we teach from an opinionated point of view that is what we lord down to other people. And what I have to come to realize, even in my own motorcycle club, is these rules will change as people change. These rules will change as time changes. I mean, what happens when motorcycles actually fly, and you have some kind of rule about riding 2x2 in the pack, and all of a sudden motorcycles are flying and there is no 2x2 in the pack. The whole thing changes because now we can ride 20x20 straight across in airplane formation. And so somebody says, well, that's MC protocol. Well, not anymore. Things have changed. So okay. What I want people to concentrate on is the real stuff. Like, did you get out? First of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. It's 18 degrees outside. Thank you for even showing up. Not necessarily, oh, you came in a car. I'll never forget the time we went down to this place here in Atlanta to visit a club. It was 18 degrees and the wind was blowing at 30 miles an hour. So the wind chill was below zero. And one of the prospects pulled into the club, facing the club. He didn't back up. And the man got so mad. When we got in the club, he started screaming, your prospect didn't back up. And he pointed the club, and we'd be in our rights to just go out and kick every one of y'all's motorcycles over. And I said, and it would be owned like a chicken bone. Why can't you concentrate on saying, hey, brothers, it's 18 degrees out here with a -0 wind chill factor, and we're so glad to see you. You want to concentrate on the bullshit. So I think if we would just get back into the we of this thing, not I, me, oh, look at this guy, he's a clown, he's this, that, and we get into the we. I'm so glad to see that you pulled up in here and you're getting ready to pay that $10 to come in, and I see you got your colors on and you're representing. Thank you for coming. I think if we could get back to that, we wouldn't be concentrating on the small stuff.
Okay. Point taken. Now, since we're talking about colors and we're talking about rags, what would you say would be some do's and don'ts while wearing or having your rags? For the individuals that's new, that don't know, sometimes common is not so common as some. So what would coming from you, protocol wise, what are some do's and don'ts while wearing or being in a club with rags?
Well, the first thing, and one of the first things that my brothers ever told me when I put a prospect patch on, when they handed me my prospect patch and said, you got 24 hours to get this on your vest, which I'm against people handing folks full vests with all the stuff on it. I'm against that. Okay. One of your last things you should have to do as a prospect is go get that stuff sewn on. But they'd say, you got 24 hours to get this on your vest. But the first thing they said was, don't you ever break a law or bring discredit upon us wearing these colors. So the number one thing is, do not bring discredit upon your MC Nation while wearing their colors. That's the first thing. You don't break no laws. If you can help it, you don't even get caught speeding. I once saw a club brother, the police pulled him over, he got off his motorcycle, he took his vest off and put it in his trunk, and then turned to talk to the officers. Like, I'm not even going to talk to you in my colors. I won't even risk sullying my club's name. Two is, you don't, so that's the legal thing. You don't break laws wearing your colors. Two, you don't show your ass wearing your colors. I saw a guy at a club, at a restaurant, just really talk nasty and ugly to a waitress. And yeah, she got his order wrong, but the way he treated her, everybody in your motorcycle club is now attached to the way this idiot treated this person in public. So when you're in public in your uniform, always think to yourself when you're wearing your colors, are my actions and my behaviors worthy of the sacrifices and the reputation and the good standing of my fellow brothers? And if the answer is, I wouldn't want to see anybody acting like I'm acting right now, then you know you're wrong. And you should correct yourself. When you're in your colors, you are an ambassador for the MC. People are watching you and you don't even know it. One day, this guy was riding in a small town and he cut this woman off in the car. She honked at him. He pulled over and berated her, screamed at her, called her all kind of B's and H's, and rode off, not knowing that that was the mayor's wife. So wasn't long before the club was on the bad list. It wasn't long before the police were sitting outside the club and pull over everybody that drove in and drove out. Wasn't long before they were no longer, all of a sudden their lease got canceled and it didn't get reapproved and all of this stuff because one guy showed his ass in his car or on his bike to the mayor's wife in her car. So you never know who's watching. You never know who's looking. So always conduct yourself as an ambassador in the club. Another thing you don't do in your colors is you don't ever talk negative about other motorcycle clubs out in public. If you want to talk negative about a motorcycle club, you talk that talk in your club, not on the set.
That word got a way of traveling. It got a way of traveling.
The walls have eyes. The walls have eyes. That old man sitting over there with no colors, just sipping on a beer and drunk looking, and nobody's talking to him, could be the national president of the 1% club around the corner. You talking noise about? Right.
He just listening, not saying nothing.
Not saying nothing. And your sergeant at arms gets a call. Your club is now down at the 1% clubhouse at that real terse meeting. And I don't know if you've ever been in those terse meetings when everybody's about to pucker up and everybody's looking like, what's going on here?
Yeah. I done been in a couple of them myself. Don't know what's gonna happen. Okay. That's cool. We touched on that, man. That's informative. And I say that because sometimes people need to hear it, especially coming from like different areas. You being from where you at, me being in Midwest Detroit. Somebody that's listening.
Hold on.
What you about to say about
with this Midwest? Y'all are not. Midwest is Oklahoma. Stop trying
I'm
to steal.
just saying that's what they got it on the map, man. The Midwest. I was seeing East Coast, and every time I see East Coast, they say, "What, you from New York? You from New York?" I'm like, "No, I'm from Detroit." Oh, Midwest. Okay, you from the Midwest. So, what you want me to say, man?
Chicago be trying to steal our Midwest from us. Like, can we have the Midwest, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Please don't. Yeah. I'm getting counseling for this.
So you get different people from different areas, and you never know how informative, whatever we might be saying on these platforms could be to somebody, or they can look at it and they just be like, man, forget what they're talking about. They know nothing of what they're saying. So it's like one of those. But if I can help somebody, if somebody's unsure or to make their club better, then hey, I'm all for it. That's why we use these platforms, for teaching and educating different individuals. Because me, myself, or Pedro, we don't know everything. We know some things, right, and we feel like some of the things that we might know might be correct, and sometimes it's just opinionated.
Right, and that's why the set is kind of like it is now, though. A little bit changed a lot, because a lot of us, I'm gonna say me too, because I wasn't educated either, though. I learned as I went along, but I asked questions though. But a lot of stuff I was doing, I wasn't educated. We just popped up on the set like, okay, we're gonna be a bike club. And then had an attitude about it. Now we coming on somebody else's, this stuff been around here before I was born. We gonna come on here and just say what we gonna do. I'm gonna come in here and this is what we gonna do. Not knowing nothing, no protocol, no nothing. So, I had to, of course I got educated and figured out I was wrong as two left shoes. But that's a lot what's going on. A lot of people on set is not being educated no more, like they was. So it's a little different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's one of the biggest things, man. Education, spreading the word. Helping somebody make their club better. But here's something that I want to piggyback on and talk about what you mentioned when you said about riding your bike, and the guy didn't bag his bike up. He came into the club. You had somebody else that was, pretty rude. Today, when we talk about these motorcycle clubs, it's like some of us, we got a bad rep. We got a lot of social clubs, riding clubs, MC clubs, and outlaw clubs. That's out here. And before a lot of these clubs, when I first started coming around the motorcycle world, it was just motorcycle clubs and outlaw clubs. I didn't know the difference at the time. And being rude was part of just who they were. Fast forward times now, how do you view the change from being rude to being proper and polite to people, being inviting? I seen outlaw clubs 20 years ago. They didn't budge, but nowadays I'm seeing outlaw clubs that are coming to bike nights. They're doing a lot of civilian stuff. You got a lot of older outlaw guys and they tell me, they say, listen, man, I just want to come out. I want to have a good time. I want to go home. I don't want to be around all that other stuff, man. I'm too old for this. I ain't got time for that. But then you also got these up and coming guys. And I'm not going to speak just saying outlaws, but just people with colors on and rags. The hospitality that they give other bikers from other clubs does not always seem to be the best.
Right.
They don't always seem to be the best. And I feel like if you be rude, you're not going to get that turnout that you want. If you're polite to people and inviting, it doesn't make you less than a club. It doesn't make your club, soft or weak. It just makes people want to come and patronize your club because they feel comfortable, being at your place. How do you view the rudeness of some of these clubs in today's world still living in the past, seeing that you mentioned things change. You know, what was once then is different now.
Well, the way I see it is, if you're seeing a change in these clubs, especially these outlaw clubs, towards how they treat people, it's because they look at these other clubs that have, one, gotten bigger. Some of these 99 clubs are just huge, hundreds and hundreds of members. And people are making money and taking that money home and living good off of throwing big parties, big functions, having hospitality, customer service, food, this, that, and the other. And so when you look over there and you're seeing them people have them big old huge parties and nobody will come to yours, it brings changes. It brings a lot of changes if you want to share in the bounty. Everything is about customer service, and people ain't going to go where they don't feel safe or where they don't feel wanted. I'll never forget, I was in a clubhouse. I was at a function one time. It was a big time 1%er club. And one of the young cats grabbed the microphone and screamed, "If you ain't this club, then you ain't SHIT." And he said it about 40 times on the microphone. And nobody from his club got up there and stopped him. And it was in the middle of the winter. And all these clubs had come. There was a lot of clubs. That was the last time I ever went to that club's function. If I ain't SHIT, then you don't need my $20 to get in the door. So if you're seeing a change, that change is coming because customer service is real. And if you want the bounty, you got to work for it. Now, it used to be that they were the only games in town. And then we made the movie Biker Boys and messed it all up. So
hey, Biker Boys was definitely one of the game changers, which I might add, Black Dragon was in the movie Biker Boys.
Yeah, and it was a great time, but that changed it. You know, the motorcycle club set was kind of pretty much dying. And we came out with Biker Boys, and then everybody wanted to get a motorcycle. So it exploded. It got huge. And so now, and then the other thing you got going on, and this is really kind of crazy. I've educated a lot of bikers out there, and a lot of them are starting to come they're starting to step up to the bigger clubs. So I'm getting a lot of calls from youngsters that were 99s and stuff like that. And so now that these clubs are reaching down and getting these kids and stuff, they're getting new blood and new kinds of thought patterns, and people that do stuff like use WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and Vimeo and stuff like that. So the attitudes of the kids that they have and their ideas towards making money and customer service. And when I first came in a motorcycle club, it was taboo to make money from the motorcycle club. It was taboo. What are you doing? Selling the colors. What are you doing? Making money? Like it's like it was the Bible. Like being a rich man meant you were going to go to hell. No, you just had to be a good rich man. Using the colors to make money is not bad if the whole club is making money off the colors. If we can be bikers for a living, why wouldn't we be? What do you do for a living? I ride a motorcycle. What do you do for a living? I'm in the such and such motorcycle club. That's what I do for a living. That's the way my club was in the early days. Our bros sometimes we had bros that weren't even working. They supported themselves by working at the clubhouse. So the changes in that mindset, these 99s have done it. Like, man, they throw whole concerts. They be having
oh man,
Yes,
Tim, they be calling some big shots out there too, man. They be having a big old function, man.
I can't even get a concert for it, and it's not all that expensive. What is it, $20, $30 to get in the door? And they got my favorite rap artist there and stuff, and I'm like, wow, these guys have figured it out. Hey, listen, there was a club here. I forget the name of the club. But the president gave away a Harley Davidson at the annual and stuff, and I almost won it. I came that close to winning that Harley Davidson. Hey, you're giving away Harleys? Like,
Yeah.
you're making some money if you're giving away Harleys. They ain't cheap. I mean, they're raggedy, but they ain't cheap, you know.
They're not cheap, man. I
They're
think that they, you know, we living in a world right now as far as, you know, current day biking it's definitely changing from the scooter bumming days back in the day where you didn't need a lot of money to have fun. Now this hobby is pretty expensive, and I think some people forget that it's really expensive.
Yes, it you know, it costs you to be doing this. Hell, one trip across country, heck, you got to stick that motorcycle in the shop. They talking about $1,800 to get your bike ready to go cross country. You ain't even made the trip yet.
Yeah,
Right.
And I tell people this, you know, I don't say this to be funny because some people might, when you talk about money and them,
Right.
they look at it like you're talking about them, like, hey, I don't have any money, and I tell them, listen, this motorcycle stuff ain't cheap. You got to have some money, man. You know, you got to be able to self-fund yourself to do a lot of these motorcycle activities, and you definitely can't always depend on your club to fund yourself. You know, people join these motorcycle clubs or they get these bikes, man, and they don't realize what comes along with being in these motorcycle clubs, man. You got to have some type of income. It's not for the weak anymore, and it's not for the poor anymore. And I'm not saying you got to be the richest guy, but you got to have something.
In my club, you had to have a job, you had to have a place to live, and you had to have a motorcycle. In the early days when our club started, you couldn't be broke and join the club. A brother would tell you need to go get your home in order, and then come back when you have the funds to play. We did not play that. You had to have something about yourself, because if you're broke, you can't go nowhere with us.
No.
If you're always
Right.
mooching on somebody,
Right.
hey man, can I get a cigarette? Damn man, I gave you half the pack. Come on. Can I sleep in your spare? Can I sleep in the spare bed over there? Well, in the hotel room. Well, I had a freak coming up, bro. You know, I only got one. I'm out of town. We at the annual. But you want
Right.
to sleep in over there? I won't say nothing, man. I'll just be asleep. No. And then you're not being brotherly. So,
Right.
you stay on the motorcycle. When I'm done in here,
Yeah, I mean, you know, these are factors, man, that come into play, man, and it some of them cause division in the club. You know, because you are financially able to take care of yourself as far as fund yourself on these motorcycle trips and being in the club, and then you have your other club members that can't. So it's like, hey, you know we can't do that, and we got to treat each other as one. You putting more strain on me. Well, I mean, why you can't get out there and hustle, work? I mean, I got to take care of you because we in the same club. I got to carry you. I got to make sure you're straight.
But how many cars did you have to tow for you to get out there on that road?
Right.
How many?
I had to tow a certain amount for me. Now I got to go over and beyond to make sure I got enough just in case something happens to you.
Which I know
Man.
will, 'cause your ass is always mooching. Yeah. So
You know,
this is the club life, but you know, part of being in the club is learning how to say no.
that's it. Now, what about being in a club and you got some club members? They done lost their whole families. They done lost their whole families due to the motorcycle club. Yes. They done got out here and lost their whole family.
The Bible says in Proverbs that when a man has founded the wife, he has found the good thing, something like that. My grandma used to say that. I didn't read that, but I know it's there. And so, but it says a man who has found a wife, he has found a good thing. He's done a good thing. So, no matter what, nobody's going to take better care of you than your family. your God-given family, not your brothers and sisters, not the ones, brothers and sisters and families don't always get along. Your mom might not have raised you well. You might have a problem with your father. You might not like your uncles and nieces, and some of y'all don't mess with them at all. I'm talking about the family God gave you, the wife you picked and the children you had. Those are your core, and that's to whom you are responsible first and foremost. And if you're not taking care of that before you get on that motorcycle, you are a bullshit MFer. And you can't be my brother. And you can't take care of the blood that God put out of your body. And you had these people. You went and you married that woman and you had those children. And you're going to tell them that some kind of way I and the club come before them? You've lost your complete marble set. We're playing for Aggies, man, and I'm using a Steely on you. You guys don't know what that are. Y'all are young. Y'all don't know about that. But this is marbles terms I'm talking. You've lost your marbles. Look here, man. God, family, job.
Right.
Then
those
club.
Come first. Yes, absolutely.
God, family, job. And so any fool, and hey, there are a lot of them, sitting by the bar, nursing that beer, singing a blues song. I've lost my family in 1922 to the motorcycle club. Like, bro, you was a damn fool.
They lost their jobs too.
You was a damn fool. Listen, if the boss says you can't go, you can't go.
Oh, they gonna go. They don't think that boss is serious. I
want
to still go.
If your woman says, hey, you can get on that motorcycle if you want to. When you come back, I won't be here. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for some people. For me, it'd be like, well, damn, baby, I guess you'll be getting on the back with me. You can still go. And I'm gonna take her when it's raining the hardest, with sleet and snow out there.
You're gonna make sure she don't want to come no more.
I'm gonna make it so ugly on that ride. I'm gonna be riding at 95 miles an hour in the rain. Hey, one of my club brothers, his wife rode with him all the way to the Mother Chapter, on the Mother Chapter run in February, about 2015 or so. And listen, I was so proud of her. She sat back there. We rode through a snowstorm in El Paso, Texas. El Paso. And she got out there and everything, and we never, ever had to worry about her saying she wanted to go on another run. It never happened ever again. So, yeah, you don't give up your family, man. Not for any reason. If I see you give up your family, I'm going to be questioning your brotherhood for real. Like, bro, you gave up your God-given family. You ain't worth a damn. And I don't have friends that ain't worth a damn.
You gotta also have those type of people around you, like-minded individuals around you, to be able to share that information, share that to their club brother, to say, hey man, I see you going downhill, man. You need to you need to go ahead and get that together. Because you got a lot of people, they won't say that, but then you also got a lot of people in clubs that don't put their personal life out there for their club members to even know what's going on, man. I mean, me personally, I've been around so many different people in the bike world. When things happen like death, you don't even know they got a family. You don't even know they married. You barely know too much about them because they keep everything bike related totally separate from their personal life. So they got to be around like-minded people that at least, know a little bit more than the rest of them to give them some type of guidance, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Satan loves company, man. Satan loves company. So that lonely ass brother who ran his wife away and ruined his life will be the first one. Oh man, I can't believe you letting her tell you what to. Do I need to come over there to 3393 and show you how things are done? No, because you didn't handle 24/27 right. You over there by your damn self. That's why we sitting in here alone. So be careful who the advice comes from. Like, bro, you ain't never been married, and yet you're going to give me advice on what I need to do over at the house? Because those be the ones that be running over there after you get thrown out, talking about, hey, do I need to do anything? Fix the shades, whatever. I know your boy ain't here, and I know everything that's going on over here because he's already told me.
Yeah.
And I know all the little secret positions you do with him because he told me that too. So what do I need to do to just get in the house? Let's just go on. Brother, that ain't my brother. That's what he did to you. You know he cheated with Susan, Pamela, and Renee.
Yeah.
Like, these bros are tough, man.
Yeah.
That's why even in the motorcycle club, you keep your business to yourself. You keep your damn self business to your damn self.
Right.
Only you can trust you with a secret. And some of you can't even trust your own damn selves with a secret. You tell on yourself. I'd be like, well, damn.
Listen, this stuff is real life. You got guys in clubs that's looking for your wife. They're waiting.
Or they wasn't looking forward to you ran your mouth about her. Man,
Right.
she let me bring 2 friends home and we all got together and man, some stuff is supposed to stay in the bedroom, right?
Yeah.
The guy be like, I need that. Oh, and he's got one. How do I get her away from him? And these bros listen, not everybody that wears your rags is your club brother.
Facts. They're not. They go right behind your back. They do you no good. I see it. I've seen it, within the bike community. I've personally seen it, man. And it's sad to say, but it is. Now, they got a thing. I don't know if it's local. I don't know if it's just here. So I don't know how it traveled. But they say, hey, listen, if you love her, keep her at home. You bring her around here, she fair game. Have you heard that statement before?
I have heard that statement, and that's club brothers that ain't about shit. Your club brother tell you something about like that. Well, first of all, listen to them when they tell you that. Believe a snake when it reveals itself. He's just joking.
No, he ain't just joking.
Yeah. I say for prospects, never take your woman around the club. Never. You don't know them Negroes like that yet. You don't. Brotherhood takes proof over time. Brotherhood requires sacrifice. You're not my brother just because we got the same patch on. What did you do to be my brother? What did you sacrifice? What did you do? You ain't done nothing. You get a better shot at it because we're in the same patch, but you still have some proving to do. Like, I got to prove this to you to get my patch. You got some proving to do to me. And I've had more prospects call me up that have had their women taken by presidents and stuff like that. And I mean, why wouldn't a president be able in a great position to do that? First of all, you idolize him. Oh, that's my president. Oh, that's my national. Oh, that's my regional. That's my sergeant at arms. And you put these people up on pedestals that haven't deserved a pedestal particularly yet. And one of these dirty bastards that doesn't care, now he's calling your wife and liking her Facebook page and this kind of stuff. And you're mesmerized by him, and she might be too. A woman looks at you and you're mesmerized by these people you don't know, and she's starting to question your judgment. And then you're bringing her around these people, and the next thing you know, she's friends with these people and blah, blah, blah. And this is how that goes. If you're a prospect, keep your fucking woman home. You don't know the motorcycle club yet. You're not even in the club. You're supposed to be getting to know the club, not us looking at your woman shake her fat behind. That's not what it's for.
Are you looking?
The motorcycle club is for you.
Are you looking when she do it? Are you looking when she do it?
I try to avert my eyes. I've learned how to make the right eye kind of go down slight thing, and then I have a good memory. I close my eyes and I see it. What are you not looking at?
Yeah. No, I got it.
You keep your as a prophet. Now, as a club brother, you know your club, and you should know your woman. So if you have a good thing going, can't nobody break into that. But as a prospect, until you get to know them folks, keep your woman at home. We used to have a rule: no packing as a prospect, and packing means having a woman on the back. This is old school old school biker talk here. So there was no packing. The back of your motorcycle belonged to the club. We might need you to go get some beer or something, and you got somebody on the club's back of the motorcycle. Get out of here. You're a prospect. No packing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, what about these women, man? I got my guy Black Panther, man. He chiming in, man. He's off of YouTube right now. He say, "What about the club sisters?" So I'm assuming, man. What about these females, man, that come into these clubs, man? Can they destroy your home?
Yeah. If you let them.
I seen it before though.
You know these guys. You know they come in here and they get a taste of, you know, some of these women out here in these motorcycle clubs, and they get some stuff that they ain't never had, and they able to do some stuff they ain't never did, and man,
it all happens when they don their cape. You know, you're Joe Shit the Rag Man, right? By day, janitor by day, and then clubman at night. Dun dun dun. And the thing is, you're still the same guy you were. They put on these colors, man, and they change, and the colors just make them all of a sudden something they never were before. And I get it, and that's all cool and everything. But when it comes to sisters, club sisters, bro, you don't screw your sisters. You don't screw around, especially if you're married, gentlemen. You don't screw around in your club, in your same chapter where your wife is going to be, and this girl is looking across the table at you kind of funny, and your wife feels that. She feels it, and she sees it, and she's looking at her, and she's looking at her, and she's staring. You caused all that.
Hey, Black Dragon, man, my guy Soul, bro, from Next Level said that we need your sound effects.
I just did one.
we need your sound effects.
Yeah, you need to get you some sound effects and stuff, bro. And you need to step that system up over there. You get. Hey,
man, listen, you got to get off that StreamYard, man, and get on with this eCam, man. I'm trying to tell you.
I'd have to get me a Mac first.
Oh man, yeah. You got to get you a Mac. But listen, you say that the club bros shouldn't knock off the club sisters in the club, man.
No, they shouldn't.
They shouldn't, because that right there.
That in my book, Social Club's Bible, because so many of these guys want to use the social club as their groupie home, and they want to screw everything in the social club. You know, it's not even good enough that you're just going to have one girl. You want the president, the sergeant at arms, the vice president, and the prospects too. Like you destroy the family. Somebody says, or he asked me just now, can these sisters, or you asked me, can these sisters destroy the brotherhood? No, you destroy the brotherhood. You destroy the brotherhood, first of all, because you can't control your loins. And you take all these kind of risks and chances inside the home, inside the club. When you mix all this inside the club, you're bringing outside turmoil into something that was good, into a brotherhood. Two brothers jealous over the same girl. If they're your club sisters, then let them be damned sisters.
I mean, I done seen it, and I'm sure you have, where you sitting in a club meeting, you sitting somewhere, and you got two club members fighting over one female.
One sister, one auxiliary member or something.
That then left to go to the other club member.
Yeah.
7 club members done had her. Knocked her off. She must have been something.
She got gold down there.
She got gold down there.
I seen it, man. I seen it.
You know,
firsthand, seen it in the club.
And they don't always be fine either.
They really don't.
They don't.
Be fine.
They don't, bro.
And
but you know what that be? That be a guy that's not really used to that kind of attention. And then he put that cape on that he put that cape on you was talking about. So he think everybody like him.
Yeah. or she got
a whole different person. Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, you're right. I mean, it's it's just baffling to me because especially if you're a president, national president, national vice, when you get into these officer programs, you really need to be thinking about that.
Yeah.
Because you set the tone for the whole MC.
Yes, you set the whole tone.
But what can you do about it in the club? You can't have a club meeting and say, hey, listen, you can't deal with your club sister because they're gonna do it behind your back. But I do know some clubs, and they got it where, one, you can't mess around with somebody's ex that's in the club. Two, they don't like too many women around. They don't want you messing around with any women that's here. I said, why is that? They say because it keeps a lot of the problems down. If we don't have people messing around with women in our club, we don't have those problems. It's and then if we find out about it, one of them got to go.
One of them got to go.
One of them got to go.
Yes. And the first fight, ours is okay. We frown on this, but the first fight that comes public in the public eye, one or both of y'all got to get up out of here.
Yeah.
But we don't, we don't like it at all.
And it happens. It happens so much. Listen, I think it happens more than just that's all the beef. Most of the club is the most of the beef. Most of the problems, it don't come from being territorial. It comes from the men and the women. Once they get it, they feel like they own it. It's theirs.
They don't want to give it up. Like that.
They don't want to give it up. They put something on them. But then you got women. They just as worse as dudes.
Yeah.
They just as worse as dudes, man.
Yeah.
They want to fight you. They want to fight the new girl. Then they get the clicks inside the club. New girl come around. Don't let her go to that bathroom by herself. It's Come on. Hey, how I go.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Or don't let her try to join the club. Oh my goodness, she'll never.
Oh man, yeah, she'll never get in. And if she in, it's always going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Listen, guys, I'll be right back. I'm on these diabetes pills, so I got to hit the restaurant. Be right back.
All right. Yeah, so listen up, everybody, man. We over here, we kicking it with Black Dragon, man, and we just chopping it up about some of the motorcycle protocols, just like earlier in the show. We were talking about, motorcycle rags. Should you wear them in the car? Certain protocols. Who made them up? I got some people up on the live that's chiming in. I couldn't, read everybody, but we got Ladies of the City chiming in. We got Afro Dogs.
Afro Dogs.
So we got Soul Bro Next Level up in here. What we got? I seen Coco. She representing the Zodiacs. I seen her up in here in the comments. There's a couple of them. I gotta get to them. Let me get to the comments if I can pull them all up. Let me try to get the comments up. Y'all give me a second real quick. So I can shout at everybody if I can get them. If I can get y'all up on here real quick. Y'all can continue to jump up in the comments. They just not popping up as fast as I want them to. Let me see here. Come on, computer. I can't get them to pop up as fast as I want them to. Okay, here we go. Got the screen. Man, we got Low chiming in from Dallas, from Texas. He up in here. Yeah, he came, and listen, he came all the way from Texas to the Lavish Biker Bash, man. So shout out to him for watching the podcast, man, and keeping himself close to me and my movements. Got Nelson in here.
Nelson, what up, Nelson?
Y'all need some garage doors. Y'all hit up Nelson, man. We got Kel. You got your club brother in here. We got ERR in there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? RK Butler, what's happening? Yeah, we see the comments. They popping up in here, man. So I had to give a shout out to everybody that was up in the comments. Let y'all know, hey, appreciate y'all watching the show and everything like that. So we're gonna continue and talk about a few more things before I know Black Dragon. He's probably gonna have to get off of here, but while I got him, we just gonna kick it and talk about some biker etiquette, education, some
protocol.
stuff that y'all might want to hear. And if not, I still want you to stay tuned and listen. So you're back, Black Dragon.
Man, don't ever get diabetes and high blood pressure. Take care of yourself out there. They put you on this medicine. Woo! And when you gotta use the bathroom, you got to run, man. So I'm back.
Yeah, man. I hear about that diabetic stuff, man, and that's one thing I don't want to do. Is catch diabetes.
It's a horrible thing, and most of it for Black folks is type 2 diabetes, and that's completely controlled by your diet.
Yeah. I just don't need the side effects. I'm still young. I'm still a raging bull. I'm still a bull, man. So yeah.
Real. You've heard about them. They're real.
Yeah. So me personally, man, I gotta stay up.
Stay up, brother.
I gotta
stay up and stay off.
Stay up and stay off.
Stay up and stay off. Stay off the diabetes.
Jay Bully, what's happening, man? We got Vernon, man. Bolo, man. What's going on, man? I see you in the comments, man. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast, man. We got Black Dragon from the Black Sabbath. He up in here, man. I appreciate him for giving me a little bit of his time to do the show tonight, man, and just kick it. Y'all make sure he got some books coming. He got some books that's already out, but then he got another one with a long name. Y'all go ahead and check it out. It's coming out tomorrow. That is tomorrow, right?
Social Club's Bible. There's the short
Social Club's Bible. Okay,
right.
So y'all go ahead and y'all check that out too. Gotta send that shout out. But then again, before we forget, you got a shout out that you got to put out here on the air. Yeah, you got something that you got to put out here. So I forgot what it was, but I guess it's some type of charity.
If you show my screen, you can hit the share button and my screen will come up.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, we're going next level in your software. There we go. So my brother's up in the Wichita, Kansas area. Actually, I think this is a place called Hutchinson, Kansas. They are sending their children to the Snoop Dogg championship, and it's in Los Angeles. And they just got invited to it like about a week ago or something. And so I know it's Christmas, and I know y'all ain't got no money, but we need to help these kids get all the way out to Los Angeles to do the Snoop Youth National Championship, which will be January 3rd. So this flyer, help us get to Los Angeles. Donations and sponsors are accepted. Sponsor company logos will be placed on uniforms, website, and social media platforms. So they need your help. If you could give the Prez a call out there of that the football organization, 816-739-6916, 816-739-6916, or email Dynasty Football KC. That might be for Kansas City. Dynasty, DYNASTY, football, FOOTBALL, KC @gmail.com. And they are 501(c)(3), so any donation you give to them will be tax deductible. So if you could help them out, we would absolutely appreciate it.
Okay, cool, man. We got that out, man. I got my guy Onyx from the LA Gentleman chiming in, man. What's going on with you? Yeah. So as we talk about the biker boys and how everything changed back then to now, how do you feel about so many clubs popping up? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Meaning, are they in the way, or you like to see growth?
I think it's an absolutely incredible, wonderful thing. Anything that stops growing starts dying. The minute you stop growing, you start dying. So there can never be too many motorcycle clubs. The city's closed. Why? Why is the city closed? Nobody closed the city to you. So what's the city closed for? Well, then what you do is you train them. You teach them. You expose them. Everybody does better with exposure. So instead of meeting somebody with a closed fist, meet them with an open hand. We're all black people here. We're all riding on the black motorcycle set. So open
this
your
might
hand
be
up.
this might be a little opposite, because everything is opinion based. Me, and I'm only speaking on me, from what I see.
Speak on you, brother. Speak on you.
I personally think this is it, man. I think that all these motorcycle clubs just popping up, man, just really be getting in the way. That's just me. But then again, I get where you say, it's room to, keep growing and, open the fist. But you get these people that join these motorcycle clubs, they misinformed. Sometimes they taking this biker lifestyle and they represent it in all of the wrong ways. And it becomes a mockery. And I say this coming from different individuals that came from a club that wanted to start their own club because they didn't like the rules of the club. And then people that has no idea about biking want to join the club. If you got a city that 30 years ago was only 15, 20 motorcycle clubs, and now you have a city with 100 motorcycle clubs, I personally feel like, why don't you go join one of these clubs that got 40, 50 years in, but everybody want to be the big dog?
But you know what the thing of that is too, though, is that this is why I think we see it. I could be wrong, but from my perspective, it's like the end thing now. They made like that motorcycling now has become like the end thing. So you have people that want to be a part of that, but don't want to be a part of the, how can I say it, the motorcycling protocol. So, because it's like the end thing, especially here though, because in Detroit, it's like motorcycles everywhere now. It's like it got really hot on fire the last 10
years.
10 years. It's like on fire now. So it's like the whole city. Not literally, but it's like really, really
and
on
I
fire right
absolutely love it. I love seeing them. When they pop up, I love it. I say, hey, why don't you come over here and let me teach you a thing or two? But I you say in the way of what? What are they getting in the way of? If you don't want to mess with them, don't invite them to your clubhouse. They're not in the way any more than they were in the way when they were individuals riding independently. The roadways out here are plenty of room for everybody to be out here. I think that by running them away, I was around when the motorcycle club sets were dying, when we did only have 7 motorcycle clubs in the city, when our way of life was challenged. For some people, they liked it like that. They didn't want nobody knowing who we were or what we did. They were just fine with 2 or 3 or 10 or 15 motorcycles clubs in a city. But in order to survive, you must grow. In order to survive, there must be new specimens. And so the battle should be, how do we train them and properly channel them to where they need to go, rather than we're not fixing to let you in at all, because you can't stop that. You can't kill them all. You can't beat them all up. You can't scare them all. You can't. If you turn your back to them all, they'll start their own coalitions. One thing that is true is that you'll never be able to stop change. You'll never be able to stop growth. And in a place like America, you're never going to be able to stop grown folks from doing exactly what the hell they want to do. So do the proper work it takes to spread this lifestyle to as many people as you can in the correct fashion by teaching MC protocol, tradition, honor, and respect.
Man, that was deep. Listen to you teaching over there, man. Let them in, man. I want to let them in. I want to let them in over there.
It Hey, listen, that doesn't mean the standard shouldn't be high. That doesn't mean that that you can't have high requirements. But they taught us something when I was in the second grade, like 1966 or something like that. They took
you was in the second grade. What year?
Something like 1960. I was born in 1963, so it wasn't 1966, was it? But it was, or maybe 1970 or something. Yeah, something like that. How old are you when you're in the second grade?
Hey man, shit, I don't know, about 7, maybe.
Yeah, so maybe it was 1960,
somewhere about 7,
69 or something. Lord have mercy. When I was in the second grade, either in the late 60s or early 70s, they had a test. They had a study, and they took all these students. And I believe that I was in that study because it's happened in my class. And they took all these students, and they said we were going to have a test.
All right.
And half of the students, they said, "Man, this test is going to be the hardest test you've ever had in your life. Most people fail this test. Most people don't even do it. If you don't do well in this test, it's okay." The other half they took and they said, "Man, this is the easiest test you've ever seen. Everybody passes this test. This test is absolutely guaranteed you'll pass it." And so then they give everybody the test. And the students that they said, "Oh, this is the hardest thing you're ever going to do," 90% of those students failed the test. And for the students that they said, "Oh man, this is the easiest test in the whole wide world," 90% of the students passed that test. And so the lessons that they said that they learned from that was expectations are the greatest thing. When people have an expectation that they will be successful, they will be successful. So it's not wrong to have high expectations for prospects and for prospective clubs and for people coming in. It's not wrong to have lofty goals and high expectations. People will grow to meet them. One of the biggest problems that we as bikers have, we don't want to see those people come into the clubs and they're just popping up this and that. We have low expectations of them. They ain't going to do nothing but mess everything up. They're not going to do nothing but get in the way. They don't know MC protocol. They don't want to know MC protocol. They don't like us. We don't like them. We have shitty expectations. Get your expectation game up. And that will bring better quality people because they don't mind rising to meet the level if you expect it of them. Tell them they're going to pass the test instead of that they're going to fail it.
I'm gonna tell somebody later tonight, "Man, you're gonna pass the test." I don't know, but we'll see that one guy.
Don't blame it on me. I'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta put this on here. I got Phil. He chimed in, man. Phil, what's going on? You all right? No, I like to give a shout out to people that's watching, hoping that they can see me. You look into these eyes.
Young Phil.
Yeah, but yeah, Black Dragon, man. Listen, because I know we've been on here, man, and I like this conversation, but I don't want it to get too long, man. I want to get you back on here, man, as we discuss more interesting things, and you spit a lot of that knowledge to us, especially when I come up with a topic that requires a different level of education, like the level that you can teach from your perspective, seeing that, hey, you studied and you've seen a lot. I mean, you talk about a lot of OMCs, MCs, social clubs. I mean, you study it all. And I pay attention to your channel. If you don't pay attention to his channel, you can check it out, Black Dragon TV. He keeps up with a lot of the news reports within the bike world going all across the country. He keeps it up. He keeps up with the news. It's informative. If you care to learn, read, hear, or know what's going on out there in the bike world, man, he's one of one of the great sources to go to. And you can check out his YouTube page. I want to
And
have
his
him
books.
and his books as well. But I'll let him
One of them Bibles.
again let you know where you can contact him, where his handle's at.
Black Dragon Biker TV, Black Dragon Biker TV on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can get me at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com if you need to send me an email or text message or something like that. My books you can get from blackdragonsgear.com. My latest book, The Social Club's Bible, is going to the publisher, the printer, tonight, and it'll be out in the next day or 2 or 3, something like that. Also, if you need to give me a holler, 404-692-0336, 404-692-0336, right here in the studio. So thank you very much for allowing me to have that shout out.
No, not a problem. But I got another question. This is coming from my guy Soul Bro from Next Level out of
Soul
Detroit.
Bro, what up, Soul Bro?
He wants to know, how do you feel about auxiliary patches on the back of these cuts? Because it drives him nuts.
What is he talking about, auxiliary patches?
I don't know.
Do you know what he's talking about?
You say auxiliary patches. Let me see. I hope he gets back in the comment. I just saw a female post a picture today with patches on the back, auxiliary patches. I'm not sure.
Like other patches besides the club patch, probably. That's what I'm thinking he's talking about.
So
Well, I think a lot of them are not club patches.
On the back of your cut, and this is just my opinion, but on the back of your cut, see, a motorcycle vest tells a lot of, motorcycle club vest tells an entire story of a person. You look on the front, you can tell their rank or their position, all the states they might have been to, whatever awards they may have won. I was in the Navy, I was in the Army, I stand for peace. My other motorcycle is a Harley. Here's my beer on your head, and your position is here on your knees
I'm
beneath
an
my
asshole,
beer.
Mr.
All kind of
Asshole.
I'm an asshole. All this is on the front of your cut. The front of your cut is the I love me portion of your cut.
Right. That's
And that's the portion that everybody gets to see. The back of your cut is the I love we. I love we the MC. And in my opinion, the only damn thing that belongs on the back of your cut is your club colors.
I think
Nothing
that's-
else.
that's
I
the
don't want to see
mindset I'm in.
your Harley Davidson wings on the bottom of your cut. We're not advertising Harley Davidson on the back. We're advertising the MC. It's not Harley Davidson's place to get a free ad. This is the MC. This is Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club. That's the back. That's the back of your patch. Or whatever y'all's clubs may be. I know that every club wishes it could be and wants to be Black Sabbath, and we'll take most of y'all. But
I'm not sure about that, young man. They want that just slipped in.
But it's the in my opinion, this is my opinion. OG, old guy, set in my ways. I hate to see stuff on the. I don't want to know your handle, your nickname. How many people in the club died that you cared about. All that is on the front and the sides and the side patches and all that. The back of your patch is your motorcycle club. That's the thing that says, that's the one thing that's bigger than you. It's the one thing that binds us all together, and it shouldn't have to share its space with a damn thing. We are the mighty such and such Motorcycle Club Nation. And until Harley's giving you a check, it can't be on the back. Not of my vest. Capiche?
All right. Hey, you know what? And that's funny because I don't have not a patch on the back of my vest.
Me neither.
But this goes back to what I say about certain people teaching you certain stuff. Is it opinionated or is it biker protocol? I never put anything in the back on the back of my vest. I had everything on the front, and then I kind of limited the amount of patches. That's just my personal preference as far as how many patches that I got on mine, where other people have a lot of patches, and that's just them. But I never put anything on the back of my vest, because when you see the back of a sea of members coming down. I want you to see, and I always felt and was told, it's like you just see that same patch. It doesn't matter how many of it is. It's that same patch. You don't have nothing in the way. You just see that club. So I've never put anything on the back of my patch. I'm not knocking anybody that do, because as you say, things change and people had their reasons. But I personally never put anything on the back of my vest at all. Yelena, what's going on? Quiet Storm. She's always chiming in and checking in on the podcast as well. So I got to give a shout out to her. But that was one of the questions that was in the comment.
In our club too.
You said what now?
That always was a thing in our club though. We couldn't put nothing else on the back of that. No, nothing's supposed to be on the back of your vest but your colors.
Okay.
From day one. So
no,
it's just us though. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, like Black Dragon say, different clubs got different rules, because some clubs got rules where, hey, you don't put anything on your vest at all. So yeah, that was a good question that Soul Bro asked. I'm glad that you brung that up. That was pretty cool. So, but Black Dragon again. I want to go ahead and in this live. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that chimed in. KJ, what's going on? I appreciate everybody that chimed in to check out the podcast, to listen in on the information that was given today on tonight's podcast. As always, we try to, say something informative, but then at the same time, laugh and joke and just uplift and have something to, keep us going over the winter months during the podcast show. Let me say, I almost got tongue-tied on that. But, Black Dragon, man, again, man, I appreciate that, man. We got to do this again and everything like that, man, just to, reach different people, because some of your guests don't know who Lavish is, and some of my guests don't know who you are, or they've seen you but never been able to really get this close to you. And this could probably be like the closest way that they can actually get to you and communicate through the podcast, through my podcast. So that's good. And I'm, again, like I say, I'm glad that you were able to, make time to join us tonight on the podcast. I appreciate that. So,
well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that. And, man, I see you doing good things. I didn't know you were having your bash, man. I would have come up to your bash. You didn't tell me nothing.
Oh man, we had that bash, man. It was pretty doggone good, man. It was a good time. You got to check it out next year. I actually just got some rooms booked again for next year. I haven't put the information out yet because I'm still working on some things, got to sign a contract and everything like that. But I have started preparation for next year, because these things, man, they take a little bit of time and they take a little bit of work. So you got to kind of get up on it way ahead of time if you want to put together something, big and nice. So that's what I'm doing.
Were there a lot of people there?
Man, it was a lot of people, man. I mean, listen, you had people from Texas, Memphis, Chicago, Cleveland, Indiana, man. They was here, man. Shout out to my guys, Killer Bees, man. They were here. You had the Quarter Boys, Pound for Pound. Rare Breed was here. The Mystic Knights was here. Full Flavor from out of Cincinnati was here. My guy from Made Men out of Dayton, Ohio. They came in. It was a lot of club, man. Next Level Chicago, they was here. All of the local clubs from Detroit, man, they was here, man. It was so many clubs from Detroit, man. I mean, Detroit, they showed a lot of hospitality, man. And one of the biggest things that I wanted to, say about the event, man, and be proud, not just because of me, but the city of Detroit, man. We go a lot of places, but a lot of places don't come to Detroit. and that's a fact. And it's proven, man. Next Level Indianapolis, yeah. Let me shout them out too. So, for everybody from Detroit, man, to come together, and not only just come together, they helped push this event. So it wasn't just Lavish just pushing it. It was, man, Lavish with the help of Detroit pushing it, and the way it came together to get a lot of these outsiders to actually come to Detroit, and their perspective of Detroit changed when they came and seen like how we laid it out. Detroit is a real bike city, man. We don't sleep every day of the week. It's something going on. There's some bike club going on, man. You know, and they not closing to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's always something going on, man. So that was really big. So when you say was it a lot of people here, man, there was a lot of people, and it was active. It wasn't an event where you just pulled up and just sat outside. It wasn't one of those events. It goes back to earlier in the podcast when you say things change and you have people having these concerts and these big events and a lot of people coming. That's what it was. It just wasn't done by a motorcycle club. It was done by me with the help of various motorcycle clubs within the city and also out of state. We did a meet and greet. The meet and greet was at my motorcycle club. The next day we did a day party sponsored by Arsenal Harley Davidson, which we had a sound competition out there, a bike show out there. The Dream Team from my city, they hosted the sound competition, and then that night we had a main party. So it was something for people to do when they came to Detroit. They didn't have to sit at one spot. The weather was nice. They didn't have to stay at the hotel. They got a chance to roam around the Motor City, man, and it brought in a lot of people, man, and I'm hoping for 24 that it's even bigger. Yeah, wow. I'm hoping that it's even bigger.
You guys have vendors there?
We have vendors there as well.
Yeah, I want to vend. I want to come sell my books there.
No, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you here. I'm gonna definitely need you to get here, man, because I feel like next year is gonna be epic. I might even have some live performances here because this was the first year. And if this was the first year and people are talking about it, and I constantly post little snippets of the event just to keep it, going so people can see Detroit. And it's not just about Lavish. I want them to see Detroit because somebody else in Detroit, man, they throw an event. I just want the traffic to come back to the city. Come back to Detroit. Come patronize Detroit because Detroit, man, we in the South. We in the West. We everywhere. And when Detroit come to a city, you know that Detroit is there. I don't know about them other cities, but Detroit is in that city. We got to make some noise. You're going to see a whole bunch of Cartier glasses and D hats floating around that city. You're going to hear a lot of people saying, "What up, though?"
That is awesome, man. What time of year is it? What month are you doing it?
That's September. That's Labor Day weekend. Okay. Yeah, that's Labor Day weekend. That means that you ain't got to rush out early Sunday morning if you don't have to, because you don't have to work on Monday. Most people, it's a holiday, and it's Labor Day weekend, man. So, it's September. This year is going to be August 30th to September 1st. That's when it falls. August 30th to September 1st, man. And like I say, I appreciate everybody that came out to that event, man. It was wonderful. Sometimes you had your doubts and thoughts about how many people might show up. I would have been content with just Michigan. But these out-of-towners, man, they came. They definitely came. And the hospitality from everybody was there. I mean, we talking about hospitality from MCs to OMCs to social clubs, and then a lot of the relationships that have been built from people going out of state to these other cities, man. They was formed, and when they came up here, man, they returned to hospitality. Great event, man. I'm definitely waiting to do it again. 2024. And Black Dragon, I got you on this podcast, and while you're on this podcast, I need you here in Detroit. Black Dragon needs to be in Detroit. I had to put you on the spot on that. Black Dragon, you'll be here, right?
I'm coming. I'm coming to Detroit, man.
Okay.
Because I had to replay this come August.
I'm coming.
Black Dragon say he coming.
Our Atlanta annual is I think like September 19th or something. So when is it? Lord, don't be.
That's August 30th to September 1st.
August. Oh, August. No, that's
August. Yeah, August 30th to September 1st.
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, Detroit. So listen, the last crew that said they was coming and didn't show up, they came. They did come the following year, and they came strong and showed out. But the last person that came on the podcast and said they were coming and they didn't come, you know how social media goes, man.
Who was that? You gonna put him out there?
I'm not gonna put them out because they rectified themselves and they came. They came. A lot of them. They came. You know, people say they wasn't coming because they don't come to nobody's stuff, but they came. They came to Michigan. So
one of them that don't come to nobody's stuff. Okay.
But they came and they showed out up here, man. So I say all that to say, Detroit, y'all heard him. Black Dragon say he gonna be here, man, and I want to make sure we live up to that.
I'm coming. God willing, I'm coming.
All right, man. All right. Cool, man. No, I appreciate that, man. We gonna let you go ahead and go. We gonna close out this podcast. Again, thank everybody for tuning in, checking out the Lavish Biker Podcast with our guest, Black Dragon, on here, man. Y'all go check out them books, man.
The legendary Black Dragon.
Yeah.
And listen, I want to make sure you guys check out the video by Tashon, Taashon. It is the unification video. The One Percenters decided that they were going to have a peace treaty among them, and this song that he did, this song was a tribute to the fact that all of these 1% motorcycle clubs on the Black Biker set could come together and have peace. So I would like for you guys to get by and check it out. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up here real quick. I want you to check out this song that they did, because this is very important in our community, in our community for what we've got going on. If these folks can stand up and show leadership on this level, then there is hope for all of us. So I'm going to share my screen real quick again, for you guys to go and check this out. The page is YouTube page is Taashon, Taashon. The song is called Diamond Holder, and they actually featured me in the song. I got to actually be in this song along with all the big brothers, and it was really cool. All of these clubs together.
When I'm on tools, I don't use blinkers, I only lane switch. Crossing skate lines, forever pounding the pavement. If we ever party, I'm leaving with who I came with. Thinking otherwise would make a biker exchange. When I'm on tools, I don't use blinkers, I only lane switch. Crossing skate lines, forever pounding the pavement. If we ever party, I'm leaving with who I came with. Thinking otherwise would make a biker exchange clip. I outlaw, nothing like these other guys. For our colors, many died. From accidents to our homicide. That line ain't thin, a chosen few gon' ride. Becoming an old man, all black. Words of the wise, my wheels give me a vibe. Sitting in cities, gripping the blicky, keep me alive. Don't want my mama to cry. A bunch of thugs in their eyes. Oh yeah, we outlaws. Got a couple angels in hell, they look out for us. Magazine 16, welcome to Valhalla. A couple unknown bikers won't let the camera capture. When I ride, I feel my brother's soul. Chilling down in Texas with a sport gun and poncho. When I'm on tools, I don't use blinkers, I only lane switch. Crossing skate lines, forever pounding the pavement. If we ever party, I'm leaving with who I came with. Thinking otherwise would make a biker exchange. When I'm on tools, I don't use blinkers, I only lane switch. Crossing skate lines, forever pounding the pavement. If we ever party, I'm leaving with who I came with. Thinking otherwise will make a biker exchange clips.
One diamond, different colors, we all black and all brothers. Haters out here in the country don't want us fucking with each other. But see, that's the problem right there. The politician and the dick measure gotta get out of here. We all diamond holders, gun toting, Harley riding, weed smokers, all the diamonds coming together. Tell your pride to move over. This outlaw unity, a beautiful thing. To try and start to make a history, you must be insane. This here don't stop a lot of bloodshed and shit. To all my Reggies out there, we don't fight like no chick. My name Big Hoolie Pipeline, and I'm in this shit deep. To go against this movement, you must be foolish and sleep.
I'm on tools, I don't use blinkers, I only lane switch. Crossing skate lines, forever pounding the pavement. If we ever party, I'm leaving with who I came with. Thinking otherwise would make a biker exchange. When I'm on tools, I don't use blinkers, I only lane switch. Crossing skate lines, forever pounding the pavement. If we ever party, I'm leaving with who I came with. Thinking otherwise would make a biker exchange clips.
One simple but brilliant trick to heat your home in.
So I seen you up in there, and I actually seen that video. I seen that video you posted a few weeks ago. I seen a snippet of it. If it wasn't on your page, it was on YouTube. But I couldn't help but notice. Was that your biker? Serious face in the video? You know, was that the biker? Was that your biker look?
So the backstory is crazy. So I go to Daytona Beach to sell my books, and I get on, I'm in my RV, and I'm going to be down there a week. So I took my RV, and I'm broadcasting from the RV, telling everybody I'm going down to Daytona Beach. So I'm sitting in my booth selling books, and all these 1%ers kind of like surround the booth, and I'm like, oh my goodness, here we go. And they said, so we stalked you here, Black Dragon. And I'm just kind of like, oh my goodness, okay, they stalked me here. This is gonna be ugly. And I said, what do you mean you stalked me? He said, we've been calling you and you won't answer the phone, and so we heard you say that you was gonna be down here, and we stalked you here. And I was like, wow, I didn't know I wasn't answering the phone. But yeah, here I am. What's going on? They said, well, we want to put you in our video. We've this is our peace video, and we want to put you in. And I said, well, I'm not a 99. I'm not a 1%er. Why would you put me in that? And they said, listen, man, a lot of us learned watching you. A lot of us watched you before we went to the 1% side. And, you've always been about peace and unity. So we think that you'd be a great guy to put in this video. We want Black Dragon in this video. And I said, well, listen, I'm selling my books. I'll be done about 2 or 3 in the morning. And they said, that's not going to work. Tell you what, we'll just take a picture of you and put the picture in the video. And then I started whining. I was like, I want to be in the video. And the photographer said he wants to be in the damn video. And so somebody said, well, how are we going to do that? And I think it was the photographer that said, the videographer said, we're going to do one scene, one take, one shot, and we're going to do it right here in the middle of the street. And I'm like, y'all can't shut down. This is Main Street. Y'all can't shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said, we're 1%ers. They walked out into the middle of that street, and it froze. Then they pull out this motorcycle that had the sound system from Hades on it. And they put that song on it. And then they took me and my dog right out into the middle of the street. And I said, oh, shit, be careful what you ask for. You might get it. So now I'm standing there thinking, You don't know how to dance. You ain't cool, and you're old. What?
What
you
can
don't know
you
how to
really do?
dance, You ain't cool. You ain't old, and you can't rap. So now what do you do? And I said, well, just rock back and forth. Try to rock to the beat, and every now and then throw up a 2. A peace sign, like you mean it. And I'll be damned if through the trickery of photography, they didn't catch my 2, like right at the right time. I threw up my 2. It was right when I'm on 2, and my 2 came up, and I was like, yeah, I meant to do that. I meant to do that. I meant to do that. So, yeah, that's they made me look cool. When you slow somebody down in slow motion, they always look cool, man.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I want to go ahead and end this. But another thing I want to talk about, man, and I'm gonna get you on there. I want to try to find me one of these open-minded 1%ers that don't have a problem, speaking, because I want to know what is the major difference between a 1%er and a regular 99%er as far as attitude-wise and being out here on the bike set. What really makes them the big brother? I say this because I personally speak from a non-club aspect of when I see certain 1%ers. I see certain 1%ers that I know are chumps. Simple as that. And I know 99%ers that are not chumps. You get the 1%ers in these clubs, and they're the toughest guys in the world. But I know 99%ers that are no jokes either. So, I want to have a discussion on, the stigma, the persona that these 1%ers have, and they put out here, to put themselves on a certain scale or level versus everybody else, when sometimes they're not really all cut out to be what we think that they are. But I want to say that.
2 things I will tell you, and then we'll do this as another show, but 2 things I want to say. One, every 99% club has 1%ers in it, and every 1% club has 99%ers in it.
Yeah.
True. That's
So
true.
every club has got some punks and has some warriors. It's typical that the outlaw clubs tend to have a few more warriors in them. A few more people that are willing to go to bat or whatever the case may be. When you talk about 1%er clubs with the chumps in them, the folks that are chumps, the thing that one has to always remember is that when there's no I in MC, so that person doesn't represent I. He doesn't represent himself. He represents the MC. So as far as the set is concerned, there's like no 1%er chumps. The nation is represented by every single patch in it. And if he turns out to be a chump when the chips are down, they definitely gonna deal with him. At least that's the way it's supposed to be. So we can get into long conversations and discussions about it, but the representation always in an MC, we always represent the entire body, and we're never representing just ourselves. What I went back to, we go all the way back to the beginning of this when we talk about the colors and what you should and shouldn't do in them. The one thing I said is the MC is about we. It's we MC. So chumps, tough guys, guys in between, wussies, and heroes all make up that one bunch, that one group of folks, the good, the bad, or the ugly. So when you look at somebody and you're like, man, I know you're a chump and I can take you out, and you really don't deserve that. Well, his brothers thought he deserved it, and take him out if you will. Now you're gonna have to deal with it.
It's gonna be a bigger problem. It's gonna be a bigger problem on your head.
And that's the only way that can exist.
Okay.
So
I
we'll
got
do
you.
a whole show on that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. Appreciate you, man. We about to go ahead and end this show, man. Until next time, next Wednesday, 8-ish.
8-ish.
The Lavish Biker Podcast.
You've been listening to the Lavish Biker Podcast with your hosts, Lavish T. Williams and Pedro, the dopest podcast in the nation. We want to thank you for hanging out with us, and make sure to add, like, follow, and subscribe at Lavish T. Williams on all social and streaming platforms. We'll see you next time on the Lavish Biker Podcast.